Welcome back for another video. Getting a strong start in Gameweek 1 is crucial to maximise your chances of a good season. It's easy to get left behind and then it's an uphill battle to regain lost ground. So in this video we'll be discussing all the players and teams you'll want to avoid in your Gameweek 1 drafts. There's so much pre-season content planned for the channel and we're going for 80k subscribers by Gameweek 1. Help us get there by hitting subscribe. Starting with a couple of goalkeepers, Nick Pike was priced at a surprising 5 mil. Newcastle start the season with a mixed bag of fixtures. In Gameweek 3 they host Man City and in Gameweek 5 they travel to Liverpool. Further to that, Trippier is an extremely attacking fullback for the same price. If you decide to grab Trippier, make sure you've got a player you can rotate in for him in Gameweeks 3 and 5. Next up, Loris, who was also 0.5 mil higher than some expected, coming in at 5.5 mil. Arguably Mendy for 5 mil or the 4.5 mil keepers like Ryan Sanchez are better value. It's exactly the same situation as Newcastle, whereby you can grab Perisic for the same price as the keeper. Alonso and Thiago Silva are both avoids. Alonso is back up to Chilwell and rumoured to be on his way out. Thiago Silva's 37 now and it comes as no surprise if he misses a game here and there. You're better off finding the extra 0.5 mil for Chilwell or James. Reguilon and Sessegnon are both avoids. They're both left wing back in Conte's system, which is the same position that Perisic has been signed to play. Reguilon may well leave before the window closes too. Sterling's too expensive for 10 mil and under Pep he's always a rotation risk. If you're dead set on a City mid, you're better off downgrading to Foden, Bernardo Silva, Grealish or Mahrez. It's unclear which will be the best City mid, and certainly last season they tended to take turns as the one to own. Sterling's been rumoured with a transfer to Chelsea, but again even then Mount for 2 mil cheaper is much more sensible initially. Zaha, Haliz and Eze are ones to avoid. There are going to be tons of value in Palace this season and I back all three to be good picks at some point, but their opening 4 fixtures include Arsenal, Liverpool and Man City. Their fixtures look better from Gameweek 5, which might be the time to consider them. If this video has been useful so far, please drop it a like and subscribe to support the channel. Galaga has returned from his Crystal Palace loan, where he was very impressive at times. He's an easy trap that newer managers in particular may fall into, as he's listed as the second top scorer in Chelsea mid after Mount for only 6 mil. His minutes will likely be limited, but he is one to keep an eye on in case this changes. Nketiah was brilliant as an FPL asset at the end of last season. He's seen a hefty price hike to 7 mil, and Arsenal have of course signed Gabriel Jesus as their first choice striker for next season. Nketiah will therefore be limited to the bench and likely an impact sub in the Premier League next season. Ronaldo is on indefinite leave currently for family reasons, though it's widely been reported that he wants to transfer away from Man United for Champions League football. Even if the story evolves to the point that he is back, committed and ready for Gameweek 1, it's a lot to spend, and at 10.5 mil he'd have to be your second premium without disrupting the team balance too much. Tottenham have splashed the cash on Richarlison. It's a great depth signing for Spurs, but he's one to avoid in FPL. At Everton he was the main man, but he'll likely be a rotation player and signed purely for depth. He's suspended for Gameweek 1 too, so he's an easy avoid. It's unclear what impact he'll have on Kulusevski's minutes, but in my opinion Kulu's not quite in the avoid territory, as he is a guaranteed starter for Gameweek 1 minimum. Liverpool also splashed the cash this window on Darwin Núñez. He's an exceptional player with clever movement and positioning, and no doubt he will be an option at some point. However, Salah, Trent, Robertson and Diaz are proven FPL assets, so if you grab Núñez you're also betting against proven FPL quality to bet on unproven quality. Diaz will set you back 1 mil less and in midfield. It's also unknown what his minutes will look like. It's entirely possible that Jota shares minutes in striker while he settles in. Kai Havertz is going to get opportunities, but he's not produced consistently on a level equivalent to his talent since signing for Chelsea. He's retained his 8 mil price tag, but he's been reclassified as a forward. Therefore he'll now get you 1 point less per goal and no clean sheet points. The 8 mil looks better spent on Mount, who has produced more FPL points season on season since making his debut. Calvert-Lewin also comes in at a surprising 8 mil. A couple of seasons ago he was a great asset for 7 mil, and it's possible he does justify his price tag down the line, but Everton showed minimal improvement under Lampard and they start the season against Chelsea. Last season under Large, Wolves was second worst in the league for expected goals with 42.5 xg. Only Norwich fared worse with 36.2 xg and got relegated. Jimenez was FPL royalty in his first couple of Premier League seasons, but he hasn't looked quite the same player since returning from injury. Combine this with the poor underlying numbers from Wolves as a whole, he's an avoid for 7 mil, despite the reasonable fixtures. Bamford's another one who was FPL royalty a couple of seasons back, but his last one was riddled by injuries. He missed Gameweek 6 to Gameweek 14, then returned from injury, played 1 game and then missed a further 12 games. He returned for 3 games after that and then missed another 8 games. Leeds have had a good transfer window, but for 7.5 mil Bamford's an avoid, but one to keep on the watch list. Lastly is Greenwood from Leeds. Many of us are investing our cash in defence and midfield, which leaves a slot for a 4.5 mil forward. Greenwood is by far the most owned 4.5 mil forward with just under 30% ownership. Bamford and Gelhardt are ahead of him in the pecking order, so he's incredibly unlikely to play. With such high ownership, he's more exposed to price drops, so you'd be more sensible to accept that no 4.5 mil forward will play and grab a lower owned forward like Force or Plange. Last season I went into Gameweek 1 with Scarlett from Spurs purely for this reason. Team value is crucial in the early parts of the season, and it can have a butterfly effect further down the line. We've all been there when you have the perfect transfer plan and it's 0.1 mil short. So that concludes the 20 players to avoid. If you found this video useful, please remember to like the video and subscribe to help us hit 80k by Gameweek 1. Share your thoughts in the comments. Are there any other players that you think should be avoided? See you soon for the next one.